So in this video, I want to talk about fair odds. So I just looked it up, and you can bet on the second referendum about Brexit happening on a website, well, depending on the jurisdiction you live in. So here are the odds that this website gave me. So here's the deal. What I can do is I can pay $2, and if the referendum actually happens, I get my $2 back, and then I get an extra $5. If the referendum does not happen, then I just lose the $2 that I paid, right? So we can summarize it. So yes means that I win $5, get my $2 back, but I paid that. And no means that I lose $2. Okay? Now, if those odds are fair, what it means is that if in the long run, I will not either lose or win money if I keep taking this kind of bet. So how do we operationalize it? So we're saying, okay, so if the probability of the second referendum happening is P, right? So the probability of yes is P, then I expect to win $5 with probability P, and I expect to lose $2 with probability 1 minus P, right? So that means that in the long run, I expect to win P times $5, and I expect to lose 1 minus P, the probability of the referendum not happening, times 2. So what I expect is 5 times P plus 2 times 1 minus P. That's a minus rather, right? So I expect to win this much, $5 times the probability of me actually winning, and then I expect to lose 2 with probability 1 minus P. So if the odds are fair, I expect that in the long run, I will neither win nor lose if I keep taking those kinds of bets. So I expect that this should be 0. So from that, I can actually infer what P is. So let's go through that. So if this is 0, then that means that 5P is equal to 2 times 1 minus P. In other words, my expected win is equal to my expected loss. And that means that the odds, so P over 1 minus P, so I'm just dividing my 1 minus P, are equal to 2 divided by 5. So those are the odds of a yes. So this is not the probability, this is the odds, but those are, of course, related concepts. So from this, we can actually work out the probability of the event happening as well, right? So we can just go, okay, so what is the probability? And what we'll see is like if you multiply and divide and stuff like that. Let's actually go through with that. So P is equal to 2/5 times 1 minus P. And that means that 1 minus 2 plus 2/5 times P is equal to 2/5. And what that means is that P is equal to 2/5 divided by 1 plus 2/5. Okay, and you can work out what that is. And this is the implied probability of the Brexit referendum happening, assuming that 5 to 2 are fair odds. So again, here's the idea. The idea is we start by assuming that those are fair odds. And if those are fair odds, we can say, well, if those are fair odds, then if we keep betting on using fair odds, that means that in the long run, we will neither win nor lose money. So that means that we get this kind of equation where the expected win minus the expected loss is equal to 0. And from that, you can work out the probability of the event happening. Now, of course, usually the odds would not be quite fair because then the house doesn't make any money. At the same time, the odds would be approximately fair because otherwise people would just go to a different website that offers them fairer odds. So in that way, if you go to those websites where you can bet on stuff, you can infer roughly what people think is the probability of the event happening.